Welcome back, guys. This is the second video of our series Node.js and MERN stack application. And if you have not gone to my first video, you would be able to get the link of the first video into the comment box, and you would be getting like description as well onto the same. And there are like few things which I missed out into that video. That was like I was able to not give an introduction about like the application, and we started directly with the setup of the application, and we did some things and we did some changes. So let us start again with the same thing, the same point where we left for. And at this time, like we would be doing, we have started our application, we were able to get the details, but we were not able to hit any kind of API endpoint, and we were not able to look at like, okay, after hitting, what would be happening? We were able to get some errors or not. So let us dive into the application, and let us see like what can we do with the comfortable stage which we are having in our hand now. And let us do a deep dive into the API structure of Node.js. And welcome back, you guys. Welcome to have you all. So let me share my screen and let us start our coding. So you guys might be able to see my screen, and yeah. So before few minutes, I just did a minor change onto our this file, ES conflict file, because like it was giving me a trouble when I was saving a save. It was giving me an error at the tab indexing. So I need to fix that. So I did that, and that has been fixed now. So let us move to our thing. So now we can see like when I start my API. So this is my API component. So yeah, npm run dev. See, you can see like our API is working at this point, and we are having our debugger been set. And so the debugger would be doing the same thing. This would be giving, the debugger library is mainly to give a debug output of, say, the console. We need not to go for like say console log and or say console.info. Instead of that, we can use the debug library, which is much more convenient, and it will be giving us the same thing. Now coming to our application, let us start the same thing, and give me a moment like where I put my other things. Yeah. So let us start with our app.js file. Okay. And in our app.js file, this is the JS file. So what do we need first? We were in need of say app logs. So say const, we would be doing a disk structure of app logs. But do we need like app logs? Yeah, we need, because we would be in need of that one. So that .js need not to forget that one, because there are like things which we would be in need of, say the whitelist first, and project root, because it would be coming into handy, so that we need that. Now coming to the point, so we are not doing that thing, we are not doing yeah, we would be adding like our express.json. So the middlewares, these are the common things, and which are very much useful points to add like the middleware, because this would be helping us to identify like, okay, are our routes been safe, secure or not, and this is how we can do that. So say app.use what express.json. Why this route, why this middleware? Because we would be getting like the response and request cycle into JSON format. So this would be helping us to give like request and response into JSON way, and we would be using that API JSON format into our API structure. Now coming to the other one, we are having like app.use, it is express dot URL encoder, and yeah, we need to do it and extend it to true. Oh, Yeah, true. That's it. Now coming to the other one. So app.use. So I like to use Morgan. So why Morgan? Morgan is like say a library which would be giving you an logs onto your terminal, on the go terminal. So right now when we hit our any kind of API, we would be getting like a log, and that is how like we would be using that one. So the next one is app.use. What is that? Helmet. So I don't think so. We installed Helmet. It's an important library, but we were not able. We might have forgot. So yarn add HELMET Helmet. It's an important library because it would be hiding all of our headers for an external. Saying I import Helmet. Array. Helmet. Yeah. Now we have so we need to define our cross origin. So I'm writing my cross origin. I'm just copying my cross origin from. Okay. So this is the cross origin definition. So for the course, like people might be having like lots of trouble with the course, like saying, okay, my course is not working for certain API, my course is not working for like say my endpoint. So this is how like we define like the course, because what we have, like we have an origin certificate, and that would be giving us, okay, if my whitelist is been indexed, then it would be giving me this one. If it's not giving, then it would be giving an error. So you are not authorized, and unauthorization error would be available. So this is how it works. So here say origin is true, then the credentials and the header would be passed off, and here say origin is false, so you won't be getting false. So the callback function, it would be coming into handy, which is coming from here. So we would be using like cross, and we need to import as well. So import CORS. So course, yeah. When we go for say .use, you say star course and cross origin. Yeah, that's it. And we do not to, yeah, we need to write like our middlewares now. So we have like, we need 1, 2, 3, and 4 middlewares, which would be taking middlewares configuration. And here we have some kind of project route. So project route is necessary, but yeah, that we would be not using right now. We would be adding into the future, so I'm removing that one. So these are the basic things. Now I need to CCM. Update the code for the API app file and ESLint. That's it. So now so I like to write like the middlewares. I like to create the middlewares, and they are in the wrong folder. I need to move it into SRC because it would be much more convenient to be placed over there. Then we have what we have, we would be in need of our helper functions. So src helper would be there, and yeah, there would be routes as well. Routes, yeah. So these are the three main thing. So we would be in need of, like, say, main thing, which is our express handler, like the header. Unauthorized, if we would be using, then error handler, and not found. So we would be adding like those three first. So say touch middleware and error. So over here we have the first file, and we would be writing our not found. Yeah, not found page would be much more good enough. So the first one would be debug and debug, say cons applog is equal to debug, and so I like to do it by this way because it would be giving an indentation when we go for the logging, and we would be looking at the logs. So for that point, so export const not found not found, and that would be request response, and say next, and yeah, res dot status status is 404. When the status is 404, const error is equal to new, and say error is an object where we would be defining like our error thing. So not found the URL, so I'm copying something and I'm pasting it over here, so we not waste the time, and say next. It would be showing us error. That's it. So this is the basic thing which we would be doing for the not found. Then we have like error handler. So I'm giving a copy paste, and I will be giving an explanation like what is error handler. So this is our error handler, because what this error handler would be doing, like it would be taking the request, and it would be giving a response like if there is any kind of error. In the development mode, we would be giving a stack error, saying like, okay, this is not available and this is not found. So it's a stack, and you would be getting like the definition like, okay, from this point our error is being generated, and this is the detail of the stack. Okay, now coming to the other one is say header function. So I would be writing a header function. I will be copying that one as well. So this one is the header function. So we define like all of the header function over here. Say I like to use by this way. For authorization, I don't go with authorization. I would rather go with these three details, saying like I give a definition to my client ID, I give a client secret, give a client device ID, and if there is a backend token which will be coming from the front end side, then I will be taking that token over here. So it would be like much more convenient for me to get like all of this detail over here, and this I'm removing because there is no need for that one now. And these are the routes, these are the requests which we would be taking, like put, get, put, post, delete, option, and patch. We won't be taking like anything apart from that. And if there is any option, then we would be sending a request response as status 200, and we would be ending that. Now coming to unauthorized, we are having like that route, that one as well. So yeah, that one is this one, the unauthorized route, which would be taking request, error, request, response, and next. So error would be handled first, and you would be moving ahead by this way. So now coming to the calling of this, all of these three middlewares into our main route file. So the app file would be having all of the middlewares which we call. So app.use, first one would be unauthorized. So unauthorized is the request which would be in need of. Say, and there would be app.use. There would be another one, error handler. So it would be handling like all of the errors, and then there would be app.use and say not found. So this is like the sequence which we would be using. And there is another one, say, which is like purely important. So that is app.all. It would be having a star. So star and say header function. So it would be checking for the header function, and we would be able to see that one as well. Yep. Now we need to go for a test API route, and we can see like, okay, is it working or not? But before that, I would rather go with writing my extended middleware. So it's a good function to write an extended middleware. So most of the people like don't like to write like any kind of middleware function, but I like to add like a middleware function because it makes my work much more convenient. Saying like I need not to go and redefine all of the API routes. So all of the API response. Saying like if I want to give a response, then it will be coming. So let me show you guys like how I feel like need not to rewrite all of the time the same response. So say touch src middleware and say extended middleware. No, we can write it like say simple file can be written as middleware, or say index.js. Yeah, we would be giving like an index.js file in that one. So I need to have a confirmation like over here. Okay, this will not work by this way because yeah, in the past I was getting like lots of error for that same, because when you go it and I call it by that way, yeah, the file would be working, but when you're calling from the JSON file or say the JS file, it won't be. So this is fine for now, it would work. Coming to our middleware, yeah, we need to add like one more thing, and there is a package that we are not writing right now, but if we write that one, then it would be like much more convenient for us. But right now we are not doing that one, so that's not required. Coming to here, say yeah, these are the three things which would be required. I'm copying and pasting because like it's like time consuming for so so now we have this one. Say this. Okay, let me give you an explanation for the same. Like here, say I written like this way. I'm commenting that, but in future I'll be writing a message to do add the log function, log and request function for the same. I think so log would be converted to app log. Yeah, this would work because we are using like log to app log. Yeah, over here also app. So this would be being commented because we are not writing that function. So let me give you an explanation for this one. So this is like that extended middleware function which would be taking up like extension. So when we want to give a response, say response dot status, and then we go for like JSON. So we define like all of the things, but instead of that I didn't done like something else. So I've taken an extended middleware which would be giving my application identifier and template environment as well. It would be setting like all of the things and saying like, okay, response dot okay, when I go for use this, so this function would be taking like a response object which would be an object, and it would be giving like status. So the status would be coming from the same and saying like this is the message which it would be decoding. So it would be having a message. So status code would be message status, and the message would be coming from here as well, and there would be a data which is coming from this point. It's an object, so you would be getting an object. So it's a creator, so you would be having like a create function, and the data would be passed, and there would be a message, so you would be passing that one as well. So that is how like this function would be workful and useful. Now coming to this one, so it's like an error. So when I go for like any kind of say request response dot error, then it would be taking like a message, and that would be passed through all of the things, all of the status, and you would be getting like the error response. And for the status as well, so you get like status code and all of the things are defined. So this is how like I like to write my response methods. So it would be like staying like all of the time, it would be staying common, so you won't be getting like any kind of wrong application. So for that reason I do it by that way. So let us start to implement this function so that you would be getting a better idea, and you guys can have a understanding of this one. So yeah, there is we created a helper directory, and we would be adding like an say function, or say extended helper, extra helper, where we would be doing like a controllers, like two different controllers, because these are like test routes, and so for that we can get like all of the things over there itself. Say touch, say helper, and say extra helper.js. So over here, the first extra helper would be like I would be doing like few things, say this thing, and that's it. And this is like the first helper route. Okay, response. And see, okay, and this is like my second one. So this is how I like to write my Express log, and let us use this one into our first route. Okay, so for the route, we would be doing like a simple thing, simple route, and we would be getting like our output saying like app, saying like app dot get, because it would be a route, so it would be a get request, and say dash, and like say test auth. So that is a simple route which we created onto an extra helper. This is this one, and it would be giving us the output of the test is working fine. That's it, and that is the message, and it would be delivered by this way. So let us see like what is happening, and I will be taking yeah, you can see guys like how taken, and when we go and see, yes, our API is working, saying localhost 8081. Oh, see, first one we are able to see like say the not found route. So here see health and DB, so that route is not found, so it would be giving us not found. When we see the error saying it's typo error, so this.ok is not defined. So we are having like all of the functions onto a stable mode now. We are able to see like all of the things coming up. So the error handler is also giving us all of the detail. See, the this.ok is not defined. So we have not implemented the middleware, so we are getting like this error. As soon as we implement our middleware, it would be, the error would be gone off. So when we add like our middleware over here, saying yeah, app.use, say extended request middleware, and you can see like right now when we go for the hit, say this dot underscore is not a function, so there is something which I need to check. Say okay, hmm. 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 We need to remove this message once and check for the message. Like I don't think so. I think so. This is the error that is coming from. I'll be explaining guys like why this is coming from. So that is coming from a point. Yeah. See, you will be getting like the response in this way. But what I was feeling to say, like instead of like this, it would be coming something else. I was willing to have like say when you go for this way, and yeah, see, it got changed to message. Okay, this is how this works. But there is something which I was really expecting to showcase you guys. That was this one, and it can be there is something. So for that, like we need to add a log, say a function which is in its language function, which is 18 i18. So that's a library which would be taking up all of our languages, different languages function, and it would be implementing that it's i18 n. So different language support, we can do an implementation where we have to like define our first language and the second language, and it would be taking up all of those things. yeah, that is it for the day. And if you guys like my video, and if you like my effort of implementing these all things, just give me a thumbs up, give me a like, or if you do subscribe my channel, it would be very much helpful for me. And thank you guys, thank you very much for be a good audience. If you have any kind of comment question, just give me a comment. I will be very much open to look into that one. Thank you guys.